Hey there, just wanted to show off the latest card that I got. This is a 1994 SL320, so it's an inline six. Just got this yesterday from a really nice guy on Craigslist. It's in pretty good shape. Didn't see any oil leaks on the engine. This has got the M104, just like the one I was working on before, that 300E. And so I used to have one of these, sold in 2012. I had an SL500. Mine was a little bit newer, 2001. This is one of those awkward between the years with the IR sensor, so and that actually should be factory. If we push the button on the fob, you can hear it, the vacuum pump go, and it's got the key that came with it, which doesn't have any, there's no trunk button. Oddly enough, like there is a sensor over here by the trunk too, so it's kind of interesting. I didn't even know that this was an option on these cars. Interior's definitely not bad. There's going to be a couple things that I try to do with it. I'm definitely going to fix like that this part here, get a new plastic tab in there. Really common for these from the R129. There's a little strut there in the back, you can see it, and when that's not working, this thing just drops. So like that's an easy one. There's a similar one in the trunk. So right back in there where that Mercedes symbol is, there is actually, that strut is something that you can replace. Forget if there's one over on this side too. Don't think so. But yeah, right now if you just let go of it, does have an aftermarket radio. I found the pieces for that just recently, so I'll have to see how that works. Some of the buttons here, you know, they're kind of pushing through, so I'm gonna have to take this center console wood out and maybe JB weld some components back in there, so that way I could try these buttons without them getting pushed through. Windows work. Yeah, this thing gets a little stuck right here, the eyeglasses case. I'll have to sort this out too. Right here it's just a little loose on the back, so yeah, the current problem I'm looking at is just the need to get it registered. So you gotta take it to emissions. Car starts right up, no problem. Check engine light though. So I'm gonna try a couple things. So like I was saying, this engine is the M104, really similar to the one that the 300E I was working on. Just a bigger version. This is a 3.2 liter. So I might have to do the wiring harness. We'll see about that. So far, no problems there, but mass airflow sensor is right here by the airbox. So there's just two 8mm in this one that's holding it in. I think the 300E had just two clips holding it in, but here you can see the actual sensor itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up. I'm just using the CRC mass airflow cleaner. So this is, I guess there's some kind of accident in the factory or something. There's a canning shortage, so it's pretty weird, but I was able to get one after I went to a couple places. Just gonna let that do its magic and see, let it dry. While I'm here, I figured I might as well clean the airflow temperature sensor. So just gonna spray that too and put these back in here in a minute, see if anything helps. This is always a real easy one to do too, so there's the part number. Yeah, so right here, you just use a pick tool, get that off. put your new one on, and then when you put it in, it will snap right into place. And then right here, it has a little snap. Got the center console out last night, and so here, there's been problems with the buttons just falling through. So what I got here is on the bottom, there's this plastic. This is really common for the 126, 124, 129. This plastic here is stapled on. And what happened up here is this part just came loose and it's just flopping around. So the whole button sunk in and just, you know, fell through. So I got some JB Weld on there, and it's pretty well closed up. And so if you put a button through there, it stays in there no problem. So there's the button that goes here. So there's two tabs at the top, one at the top, one at the bottom. You can see that's where these go, top and the bottom. Nice and tight. So there we go. And then this car has a really interesting feature that was only on the 91 to 94, I think, which was, you can do your side mirrors, of course, that's regular. But if you put it in the middle, that'll move your rear view mirror, and it'll save that position too. So that's kind of cool. So the other thing I got to do is I just took out all the staples off of this piece. So this was broken off and separated, and so you can see where there's still one piece left. So here, get that on there. I'm going to get this JB welded in there really nicely. And then it's missing the tab for the top part. So I just cut off the top on the one next to it, and I'll be able to make a tab for it here. Let's see if I can, there we go. So I'm just gonna try plastic welding that, and then maybe JB welding it. Plastic welding just with the soldering iron, just melt it together. And then once it's together, I'll JB weld it into place. So I got that slathered on there, and after getting it put on there, I got some zip ties holding it in place, so put a little pressure on it. You can use clamps too. I just didn't want to do it in this case because I don't want to break the wood or scratch the wood. It's already not perfect, but I'm okay with it. There's like a scratch up here, there's a couple cracks, there's a crack right there. So, you know, as long as it works, I'm pretty good with it. So here, this will keep it in place. Let this stuff dry up really good. And here it is after all the JB welding on the back. And so now the ashtray assembly works like it's supposed to. Yeah, there's those buttons. They're all in there really good. They're not coming out. You can see where the ashtray is. There's the 4 bolts there, and those are in there really good. And yeah, here's where you did the plastic welding, and then just kind of covered that area up with some JB Weld too. Here it all is back together. So I got the lights replaced down here too while I was in there. Replaced the 2 bulbs here, and there's a 3rd bulb over here. You pull the unit out. So I got those replaced. Yeah, radio's working good. And now that it's all connected right, there's the 2 screws there. Those are the 2 you take out when you're trying to take this console out. So you take those 2 out, then you can take out the air conditioning unit, you can take out the stereo, then this thing just comes right out. And the earlier ones have an ashtray right here actually, which I'm going to replace this with a storage bin with the cup holders. But while I got this open, this one has the just a storage compartment. So the edges kind of fold down. You can see a little fold there. So you fold them down, push it in there, and it's supposed to be secured by a screw right here. So I'm just going to get that together. I still got the check engine light, so I got some parts on order O2 sensor and code reader and a couple other things. So we'll see how it goes.